though, I speak it though. What's on your mind, is deep though. We'll speak it though. We on the air, just take it there, I'ma take it there. Hold up. Yeah, I talk about it, but I'm real about it. I speak on it, but don't catch feels about it. We can chop it up like it's nothing, baby.
What's going on, everybody? We are back here live here on the OT Radio Show. And man, oh man, on this beautiful Tuesday, we got a very good show for y'all today. But let me go ahead and bring in her for the introduction. We have Miss Sunnie McFadden-Curtis here today joining your boy OT. She's an award-winning filmmaker. She's an actress. She's a mother. She's an advocate for mothers and children. And let me tell y'all something right here. She got this documentary out right now called Vows Documentary. And when I tell you the story of separation, y'all can see it right now on Apple TV, Prime Video, Google Play, and y'all know I already know my favorite Voodoo. So right now I have her joining us here right now. Producers, they say she is in live waiting to have a conversation with your boy OT, and we are ready to have a conversation with her. So go ahead and bring in everybody, and let's get to talking on this beautiful Tuesday. Hello. How are you feeling today?
Well, hello back. Fantabulous. How are you doing?
Oh, I am blessed and I'm better than yesterday. That's my new slogan for this year, better than yesterday. Yes. Well, I am glad.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, first of all, it's an honor and it is a pleasure to have you on today, joining me here live on the OT Radio Show. Thank you for joining me here on this beautiful Tuesday.
My pleasure, so and I feel the same way about being on your show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, listen, before we get started on your documentary, Broken Vows, talking about, the story of separation, let's talk about you for a minute. So can you tell our listeners and people who are watching live, where are you from and how did you get started in filmmaking, being an actress? How did all that come about?
Well, I was born and raised in Toronto, and I'm speaking to you from Toronto right now. I was actually born and raised in the suburbs of Toronto. And really, as a child, I always had a big interest for the creative and teaching. And also, I was made to learn about social advocacy at a very young age. And it stayed with me throughout most of my life, where I wanted to try and find a way to marry all these things. And I found a way, which is through my documentaries, which is one of the biggest mediums that you can do that. And so the acting, well, the acting also stemmed way back in the day of being raised in the suburbs and having a real insatiable appetite for the creative. So basically, that's it in a nutshell.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Now, you went from being an actress to then being behind the scenes. How was that?
Well, it actually came to life out of, again, having that want for so long to try to marry everything. But it really actually came to be out of unfortunate circumstances. And I wanted to make a wrong right. And so I did that through jumping in behind the camera and making a decision to make a film on bullying. That was my first documentary. I really saw that there was a void in education and information about it. Mm-hmm. So I leaped from in front of the camera, so to speak, to behind the camera. And that project, which is Bullying: A Culture of Silence, took me 3 years. Wow. And is now in 47 cities across North America, predominantly in libraries.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit about your new documentary right now. Broken Vows, the story of separation. Why did you choose to actually produce this documentary?
Well, I kept meeting an influx of women who may have been sequestered in the court system for years or found themselves in a paralysis state of fear, not knowing what was lurking around the corner, um, trying to keep a roof over their head, take care of their children, and they had questions. And being
Hmm.
an advocate for women and children, I set out to summarize it. I set out to get those answers. And then I realized, wow, there really is a void in the system for this education. This feels like a documentary to me. This feels like this information needs to be out there. And so I went on a journey to produce this documentary, which, by the way, took me 4.5 years.
Wow. Wow. 4.5 years. So, what have you learned through, through your documentary, through your journey for 4.5 years? What have you learned about, because I just wanted to know, right? Because a lot of people see separation in like divorce. Like, what made you choose separation as opposed to divorce?
Well, simply because it's that gray area that is so rarely spoken about and spoken about candidly. And again, going back to realizing that there was a void in education information, that was really the main reason. And so I took it upon myself to do so.
Yeah, because I do see a void in that because before you get divorced, you become separated first, right? And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people really don't talk about those kind of struggles and those kind of things that they have to do because once you was married and then all of a sudden now you're being separated before the divorce, there's a lot of mental and things that you used to do that you can't do right now. So, what can you say about that through your documentary?
Well, firstly, it's one of the most psychologically exhausting times in one's life. And you feel like you're completely alone when in fact you're really not. And again, you're trying to take care of a family while perhaps working a full-time job. And so it is really one of the most psychologically exhausting times. And you're also expected to make life-altering decisions for years to come under this duress. And
Hmm.
so I feel and felt that if I could put some education together through a documentary and then some, then I can maybe alleviate some of this pressure. And again, my documentary is predominantly women's stories, but not exclusively. So I'm going to speak about women and psychologically exhausting times in a woman's life, because more often than not, women are the caregivers of the children.
Hmm.
And they typically would put themselves on the back burner in terms of taking care of themselves, trying to take care of their family. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult time, admittedly, but again, so rarely spoken about, and it needs to be spoken about. So, if there are women out there who are experiencing this, they need to be specific when they tell their friends and family that they need them. And if it's just
Yeah.
to listen to them or to take care of the kids for an hour, then they need to be specific. And family needs to keep reaching out, even if the woman isn't ready when they reach out at that moment of time, and keep reaching out till they are ready and can be specific in terms of what their needs are.
Well, because I know one thing about your documentary that I definitely loved about that you incorporated kids because a lot of people really don't understand when kids are involved what they go through too. So not just the mothers, but what the kids go through.
Mm.
And I love that about the documentary. So can you tell our listeners and people that are watching a little bit about that too?
Well, again, Broken Vows Stories of Separation is very candid. And yes, we do speak to adult children that went through separation, and their interviews are very raw and up close and personal. And if separation isn't handled appropriately, the most vulnerable, being the children, will be affected and can be affected for the rest of their lives. So I really wanted to share that aspect of separation and help maybe wake and shake people up in terms of those who may not be handling it appropriately or speaking appropriately about their significant other that they're separating from wrongly around the children. Can be life altering, leave life altering effects on the child. So, and the other thing that I would recommend, if I may, is that when you go through a separation, one of the first things that I would recommend is that you get therapists or counseling from both you and your children, maybe just before you separate or upon separating, and have that other person there for the children to speak to and make sure that the children are okay during this.
I agree on that one. I definitely agree on that one because sometimes things like that do get lost because we are so busy worrying about ourselves, right? And the
Hmm.
things that we have to do. We forgetting that there are kids. People who do have kids involved are forgetting that there are kids involved in it too. Now you gave one example. Can you give like two more examples that people can actually, what they need to do when it comes down to separation and the tools that they need to have when you do separation. Because therapist is one.
Right.
That's definitely a big one.
Well, the other thing would be that make sure that you get a good lawyer or counselor that actually specializes in family law, not outside family law, but somebody who specializes in family law that can advise you appropriately and properly. And the other thing, in the case of the woman who may be leading this whole thing, make sure that you reach out to your doctor and get the help that you need, and just be candid and open with what you're experiencing, and make sure that you take care of yourself so that you can sustain what is about to come upon you during this whole separation, for starters.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree 100%. I mean, because we tend to forget about that. Like you said, that separation is the gray area that haven't been spoken about. When you listen to people like, oh, yeah, I just got a divorce, you're like, well, what about the separation part? What about what you went through? Because your divorce might take 6 months. What have you went through 6 months, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially? You know
six
what I mean?
months
Yeah. If you got a good lawyer. But I know divorce now take take long because I'm going to tell you it's not an overnight process. People think it's an overnight process, but it really ain't because you have kids and other things. If you got a whole lot of money, a whole lot of stuff that's involved in it. But I'm just speaking candidly. That's it. So yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, so what can our audience take from when they watch this documentary?
Well, as a director, I would love the audience to take away from watching this documentary that you're not alone in this process, and take solace in the fact that you're not alone and that you can get from the darkness to the light. And again, please handle it appropriately so that the most vulnerable, being the children, won't be gravely affected. So I really want them
Okay.
to find solace in the fact that they can get from the darkness to the light.
hmm Now let's talk a little bit more about the broken vows because yes, the story is about separation, but when you actually watch the documentary, there actually more to that. Because like you said, you see people going through mentally, physical, what I mean. But after the separation, because I know it was one lady, I forgot her name. She was talking about now after she got the help and everything. Now she's actually getting remarried. No, she's getting married. She got proposed to, and she's going to be getting married soon. The other one has found a new job. She is living life. Let's talk about the aftermath of the separation and how people feel about the aftermath. Because I was watching, I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good because you not only talk about just that part, they got into details. Like we got the mental details about, but now let's talk about the after effects. What can people expect when they watch it? The after effects. How can they take upon it and feel good? Because I felt good after watching it, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, thank you. So the aftermath, well, again, it could be, different for everybody. But as you mentioned, the ladies in my documentary, after some time, they went on to get on with their lives. And again, some got engaged, some got remarried, some are just now, or at the time I filmed, feeling like they're ready to get back out there. But um, it does take some time, it does take some effort, but you certainly can get there. And there's so much that one can look forward to on the other side. In terms of, um, as I mentioned, getting remarried, getting engaged, finding a new job, being able to take care of oneself and their children. But you just have to be strong until that point.
Yeah, yeah. Now, a lot of people I know, make sure y'all go check out the documentaries on Apple TV. It's on Prime Video, Google Play, one of my favorite Voodoo. Make sure y'all go ahead and check it out. But I see that you got a lot of diverse in there. And I love that. Now, during your travels, because you say it took 4 years. During your travels, I mean, where was the places that you went and how did you meet these people? And they just opened up like how?
Well, typically what happens when in my documentaries is I put the word out there and it happens organically.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is first of all, I want diverse stories because I want it to be far reaching so that there's something in there for everybody that they can relate to. Um, and I mean, I actually did film a lot of parts of the world, although the international part, outside of the States, I did not include. I think that that is going to be for perhaps another documentary.
Ah.
But but yeah, I mean, it really took me all over the place, and the stories came to me organically. And what I typically do is I'll do a pre-interview to see, how forthcoming they are, what they want to share, if the stories are diverse from the other stories, and I always let my subjects know that if they say something in the interview that they're not comfortable with, or they want to redo something, I'm always happy to do that because I want my subjects to be comfortable. But I traveled all over the place to do this documentary, and I met a lot of people, and they came to me organically, as they would typically in the documentaries that I've made before.
Wow. That's wow. I'm still just amazed. Like you. Wow. Hey, guess what? I guess your energy and people love you, and this is what happens. This is what happens with your energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, do you have anything else that's going to be coming out?
Thank you.
Yes. 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 So,
Well,
yeah.
if I may, on the heels of making Broken Vow Stories of Separation, I went straight into another year, which brought it to 5.5 years, and I produced a companion's digital 6-volume resource. And it's a
Mm.
six-parter, which includes wellness, dating after separation, legal, maybe some cosmetic surgery that one might want to have. You want to go back to
Hmm.
school. So in these 6 parts, you can get all that information, and it actually answers over 350 questions that someone might have during a separation. And information about that is on my website. But I also am going to step away from documentaries for a minute, and I'm presently working on 2 films in the early stages, so various projects in different stages of development. But I'm working on a psychological thriller right now based on true events.
Wow. Well, oh, see, hold up. See, now, you just can't slide past that one. Really? Really? So, uh, can you just give me a sneak peek?
Mm. Well, I can tell you this, that it's based on true events, and I've stayed very true to the story. But I'll tell you that in this film, the woman is the hero,
Mm.
and she kicks ass, if I may say that.
Uh-huh. Yes, you
But
can.
in all my films, there's always there's always a strong message and something to be learned by them.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's that's basically, why don't we do this? OT,
Okay.
why don't you bring me
Okay.
back when I'm further along in these projects? And I'd love to share more about them.
Matter of fact, you are absolutely right. Guess what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you back. We're definitely going to bring you back because I'm going to tell you something. Just your energy, I love it. The smile, I love it. I love everything about it. Love it, love it, love it. But I gotta
Thank
ask you
you.
one other question. I gotta ask you now. Um, are all your films done in Canada, or are you going to be doing any films out of the state? Because I know right now, Canada, I know they just restarting to open up a little bit more. So, can you give me a sneak peek on that?
Okay, so being in the early stages of these projects, one only knows, but it's very, very, very strong possibility that the one I'm working on now will be a co-venture between the US and Canada. So that
Okay.
would mean that there would be some filming done in the US or even outside of the US. And especially the
Mhm.
second one that I'm working on as well, which is a drama based on true events. I hope to shoot some of that in Thailand and the US and various other places. So I would like to co-venture with, the US and Canada.
Ah, see y'all. See, she's giving me a little something. She's giving OT a little something. I'm telling y'all, she's giving me a little something. Well, listen. Okay, so we got to bring you back on. We have to bring you back on. So now, right now we are like definitely
Okay.
promoting Broken Vows, at a documentary, talk about the story of separation. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and, look at it on Apple TV, Prime Video, Google Play, Voodoo. And but she's coming back on, y'all. And she's gonna give us a little something else. But I do have a question for you. How did you become an advocate for mothers of
Okay.
children?
Okay. So my first documentary, Bullying: A Culture of Silence, and again going back to learning at a young age about social advocacy. Um, I again, when I recognize a void in the system, and
Mhm.
I try to fill that void. And so the first void that I really tried to fill was about bullying. And I
Mhm.
focused mainly on children. And in terms of women and being a woman and having some experiences myself and recognizing, again, voids upon voids, I try to fill
Yeah.
them. And children being the more vulnerable, I like to focus on the more vulnerable. And sometimes, not always, that can be a woman, but in a particular state,
Mhm.
like when I was talking about being psychologically exhausted. So I became an advocate because of um, some situations that happened in terms of bullying. And I
Mhm.
recognize that void and I try to fill them and help educate. But I do also want to share something else if we have time.
Yes, we do. Come on now. Give it to me. Give it to
Can
me.
I, would you mind if I shared my socials with you?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Uh,
Let's do it.
okay, so, and I'm happy for people to reach out to me if they have stories, but they can find me on Sunny, Sunn, like Norman, IEBIZ 13 Instagram. And my other Instagram is Broken Vows Documentary. And if you want to know more information about me or my projects or the resource, they can go to my website, which is brokenvowsfilm.com. And that's plural, Broken Vows,
Well, y'all got it right here.
film.com.
Well, y'all got it right here because I'm already following her already, y'all. So y'all better jump on it.
Yay!
I'm already following her on both of them. So y'all better jump onto it. Jump onto it. Well, listen, I like to tell you thank you so much for joining me here on the show. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the love. I can't wait to have you back on. I'll be reaching out to your publicist so we can go ahead and get that booked and make sure that you are on here on the show to talk to me. And I love the fact that you are, you know, doing a documentary on a void, on an empty space that is really talked about, that is not really talked about. So I am very happy that you are touching that empty void, and it's called separation, y'all. The story of separation, broken vows. Like I said, y'all can find on Apple TV. Y'all can find on Prime Video. Y'all can find on Google Play. Y'all can find on Voodoo. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check it out. And before you go, I need you to go ahead and give them your social media one more time and your website one more time.
OT, thank you. Okay, so Instagrams are Sunnie, SUNNIE, BIZ13, and Broken Vows Documentary. And then again, my website is brokenvowsfilm.com. And again, I'm happy for people to reach out if they want to share their stories. And we go from there. So I just want to say thank you so much for your energy as well and for having me on here and being supportive of me. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
no problem, no problem. Much love, much love. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, enjoy the rest of your day. I am glad that you had this little piece with me and spend a little quality time with me here on the show. Welcome to the family, as we say on the show. Now you are part of the OT Radio family. So welcome, 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 welcome. And
Thank you.
I
I
cannot,
much
no.
appreciate it.
Yes, yes, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. Well, listen, like I said, enjoy the rest of your day. Have yourself a blessed time. Enjoy yourself. And we
You
will
too.
be talking. We will be talking. Best believe it. We will be talking. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. Hey, right here, y'all.
Talk
We having
soon.
Sunday.
Bye.
Yes, yes. Bye bye. Wow, good show, y'all. We had another
Bye.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful show, y'all. We had another beautiful show. I appreciate her so much for joining your boy OT here on this show, right here on this beautiful Tuesday. And like I said, y'all, I always bring some of the best talent, some of the beautiful people here on the show. Remember, y'all, I had Miss Sunnie McFadden-Curtis, award-winning filmmaker, actress, mother. And y'all make sure y'all check out that documentary, Broken Vows, the story of separation. Y'all can find it on Apple TV, Prime Video, Google Play, and Voodoo. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check it out. Support her. And all of her social media is all under the description on the YouTube page. Make sure y'all follow me here on YouTube, on Instagram, and Facebook. All of it is the same, y'all. OT Radio Show. All of it is all the same. I love y'all. I will see y'all again tomorrow. I got another one for you. I got these ladies coming on, y'all. They are bringing it. I got them. I love them. I appreciate them. And they all going to be joining your boy here on the show once again. Love y'all. Y'all be good. And I will see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all take it easy, y'all. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I got to say this, go Sixers. Go Sixers tonight. Let's go ahead and beat Miami. But thank you for watching your boy OT. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button, share it. Thank you for watching, y'all. Peace.